welcome to Semi Woke. I'm Pranav.
I'm Sheria.
And this is a special podcast where Sheria tries to brainwash me, Pranav, with one new woke concept every week in an effort to maybe turn me gay.
Yeah, no. You have to transmogrify into a glitter, not even a butt plug. It has to be one of those.
Okay, listen, we started at bug plug, and for me, that was already the ceiling. Now for you, that's the base.
Now you have to be one of those silicone butthole molds, that they do with porn stars.
Listen, this is what they call mission creep, okay?
What is that?
I don't know, but maybe that would be my drag name, actually, now that I think about it. But, okay, it started very, it started with I'll make eye contact with a man, and now it's like, you're a butt plug.
No.
You will reincarnate as a butt plug.
Not a butt plug. A mold of a gay porn star's asshole. You never seen those?
No. Listen, this is a podcast for the kids, all right? Let's just keep it clean.
Please don't let this be a podcast for the kids.
We're on Disney podcasts. If they did. It'd be great if they did a Kids Bob version of podcasts.
At some point, this is just going to devolve into us unboxing toys.
Yeah, exactly. But there'll be dildos and shit. Pocket pussies.
Anyway, this is the first...
This is the first gay and straight collaboration since
Darren Criss and Ryan Murphy.
Okay. I don't know, as usual, what she's talking about, but I'm going to run with it. I'm rolling with it.
Darren Criss, I can't... Oh, also, Darren Criss is straight. I know everybody... I feel like some people knew that, but
is he?
I did not.
Because you know who he is, so now I think that alone makes him kind of gay.
He was... Because that's true. That's fair. And he's very theatery. You know what? He's one of those straight guys who's very who's
into taking it in the butt. And
yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay. It's straight theater guys. No, bless him. And Ryan Murphy, this is kind of ties into our subject today because he played Andrew Cunanan.
Oh.
In the Versace
Andrew
limited
Philip
series.
Cunanan.
Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
And it's actually great, and he's fantastic in it. And he's also, not only is he straight, but he's half Filipino, which I did not know.
Okay, well, that makes it because Cunanan was half Filipino. We're going to get into all this. Let's start with a little prayer, please. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
God, please, God. Oh, God, please. God. Amen.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That's like me with period cramps.
That's listen. You know what? Life is struggle. Life is pain. That was just a lament for me to keep a gun out of my mouth.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. Trigger warning, guys.
Please don't. We just started the podcast. You can't.
I know. That's true. That is true.
Okay. So welcome to the Semi Woke podcast.
What's our topic for today?
Our topic. So usually this is an opportunity for me to brainwash you to be more woke.
Yes.
And actually, the turntables you can't get fooled again. And so this one, we're turning the turntables. We're going to go after me.
We're going for Sheria. We're talking about Sheria's bad habit with true crime.
I love true crime.
Now, you were like, maybe we need to talk about this. So why don't you tell us why you think this is something that needs to be talked about on this cup? Why do you think you need to be brainwashed out of this? I obviously have my opinions about true crime. I'm also a fan and consumer of true crime.
Exactly, yes. But you have read me a little bit about the way in which I consume you kind of deal with the big true crime. I'm here for all the micro the family annihilators and the
dude. Listen, I go for bigger. I'll watch the Dahmer movie, right? Or if I go on Hulu. Here's the thing though. Here's the difference between you and mine. It's algorithmic, right?
Yeah.
You'll follow the algo and go deep with it.
Yes.
I'll watch one thing. It'll be I'll watch on Hulu. Hey, here's something about Ted Bundy, marquee level true crime story, something the whole family can enjoy. Yes. The Manson family, right? And then next thing on the algo gets you, then they're if you like this, you might molested by someone I trust.
Literally, yes.
Yes, that is Dungeon Diaries or whatever the fuck it is.
Molested by Someone I Trust is definitely a show on ID Discovery.
It's got to be.
It's definitely.
That's an ID Discovery title.
Yes,
for sure it is, right? Because I know true crime and I see And sometimes I'll go in there and it'll be very specific. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Catfished and fingered on Discovery ID, you know? It's like that's the level. They get really granular. I'm into the true crime where it's marquee level. Grand crimes. Huge crimes. But then they're like, hey, Cindy from Dubuque, Iowa had a stalker. We're like, no one gives a fuck about Cindy except for her stalker. Now we're all Cindy's stalker. You know?
Wait, yes. But, okay, so you were right, and you were right about me, because I do, like, I prefer almost to this point, like, I like all of it. I want to know all of it, but I prefer the more granular stories about, like, just, you know, the family annihilator thing. That's like the thing that
What is family annihilator? You're using it like it's a common phrase.
Oh, by the way, trigger warning for the whole thing. We're going to be talking about true crime. It's not good. It's not fun crimes. It's not like parking crimes.
Yeah, trigger warning. If you're not a white woman, you might want to tune out. Okay.
Wait, we're going to talk about this because the black girls are getting more, or the black girls are expressing their interest in true crime more, and I love black true crime. Shout outs to Sisters Who Kill.
Okay.
It's a great podcast.
We got to get
should
into
listen
that.
to it. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, like, what was I saying?
Well, you were starting to talk about your own family annihilators. What the fuck is family annihilators?
So family annihilators.
That sounds vaguely pornographic.
No. Oh,
okay.
God.
It sounds like it sounds like it could be a Pornhub channel.
Oh God.
I'm not in a good way.
Speaking of true crime,
really?
No, they're getting better, right? Yeah. They're getting better.
No. How can they ever get better? We'll talk about this another time.
We will. Write that down.
How menacing. We will.
So, family annihilators are usually men, but I think there have been a few women family annihilators who kill their entire families in like a mass killing.
Okay.
And this is like not very common. It's not like every day, but it's a pretty common. It's like usually the end of a domestic abuse situation. Domestic violence situation
that does
usually ends in a family. Can usually is what is.
See, that is so sad.
It's so sad.
I remember the good old days when a man would kill his whole family just because of financial issues. You know, he's like, we can't afford food. It's time to go, everybody.
Wait, that's also the second reason why.
That's the thing I always remember hearing about. The dude would just some like Hemingway type shit, you know?
Yep. Capitalism. That's another thing when you listen to true crime. Okay, wait. So are you going to take me to task first, or am I going to defend myself first?
I mean, look, here's the thing about true crime. True crime is darkly pornographic. Okay? Here's my read on true crime is that it is very darkly pornography for women, primarily for women.
What is that everyone's theory? Okay, why?
Well, you're going to have to help me understand why, because I think there's a bizarre titillation to it. Listen, the same reason why I love playing violent video games as a straight man is the same reason, and this is the binary. This is the binary on the surface level of human interactions, right? Where it's like we like to be aggressors and women.
Say it. We will fucking end this podcast today. This is it. Say it. Say it.
And women are explore media related to being the victims.
Why do you think that is? Because women are more likely to be the victims and men are more likely to be the aggressors. But men are also victims of true crime. A lot of the time.
Hold up. Hey. Some of these bitches be acting too bold with the poisonings. Women's are out there drowning their kids in the lake.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, listen, I love, not love.
Don't act like some demented bitch on Computer Cleaner or whatever.
No.
Who hasn't fucking...
No.
Yeah.
Female murderers, I know about them. I know women's
traditional. You guys
MO.
have it easier in that way because you have a sexy name, femme fatale. Ooh, sexy.
Belle Gunnis is no one's sexy femme fatale.
Who's Belle Gunnis? This sounds like a made-up non-binary person's name. Okay? This is totally the new special by Belle Gunnis.
No, although she did exist outside of certain gender binaries.
Okay.
Because she was like a big brick shit of a woman who killed a bunch of fucking dudes. She was a brick shit thick woman, but men loved her.
Who is this person?
She was like a farmer lady. She was like she's one of the few.
Okay, what was her crime? You're giving me
Serial
everything else. You're
killers.
like, she had a size 7 sneaker.
She killed
She was a
people.
farmer.
She killed
what was
people.
her crime?
It's not just about the crime. It's about the person within.
She was serving cunts, whatever that means.
She kind of was. She was. She kind of was a little bit. She was just like a big brick shit house of a woman who killed men. They went for her. They loved her. She beat the shit out of them, and she often stabbed them. She killed them. She poisoned them. Right. She just made sure they died. And she did it all while being a bad bitch. No, I'm kidding. She was not a bad bitch. She was really evil.
She broke the glass ceiling on murder.
She kind of did. She's one of the first female serial killers. Like
really? What years was she operating?
What's Belle Gunnis's time?
Belle Gunnis. I mean, that's an old-timey sounding
Yeah, it's
name,
definitely
actually.
not the 90s.
That's like a 1950s farm woman.
No, not 1950s.
Belle
earlier.
Gunnis.
She was like 1884, 1908.
That's old as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, that's OG.
Yeah, she's an OG.
How did she? What was her MO? Like, how did she kill people?
Well, she would marry them usually.
Okay.
Get their money.
Oh, so she was a Black Widow.
She was like a Black Widow. Yes, she was like a Black Widow. How'd she kill them?
That's always charming. But you see, you guys get all the cool names. Black Widow, Femme Fatale.
I don't agree with that. I think we should start calling them serial killers.
Well,
give them what they owe. And I don't like most serial killers, and I don't like her, but I will say she made points. Aileen Wuornos. Aileen Wuornos was Kat, or my friend and Maureen, his Maureen. Yeah. She has a T-shirt that is like Aileen Wuornos, like Hillary Clinton, and it just says "I'm with her."
That's incredible. That's incredible. Aileen Wuornos definitely the lesser of two evils between her and Hillary Clinton. Just got to put that out there.
Who has more blood on their hands, Aileen Wuornos or Hillary fucking Clinton?
Hillary Clinton's way more evil.
Absolutely. Aileen
Wuornos was standing up for all the Florida fours out there. You know what I mean?
She was a victim. She
was a victim.
I think the first murders were probably like sex workers, especially the type of sex work she was doing.
It was defense.
I think it was self-defense, and then I think it was just like any man.
And then it was like robbery, though.
Yes.
You know, it was like psychosexual, post-traumatic stress.
Yes.
And then robbery.
Yes.
It was a combined motive. My theory about this is that women cannot be serial killers.
Excuse you?
Yeah, they can't be.
Why?
They can't be.
Why?
There's a libidinal aspect to it, which is solely in the realm of males. So, for instance, look, you can have a woman who consistently will murder, right? Yeah, and you'll have a Belle Gunnis or a Tippin Taylor Green or whatever non-bi name you're going to throw at me. I don't know. You know,
is it female serial killers and queer comics?
Tippin Butch Cumming. I don't know, but. Look, actually, here's what describes it, right? Is I have a joke that works about 10% of the time. Are you canceling me right now?
Yes.
Is that why you're on your phone?
Yes.
I have a joke that works maybe 40% of the time on stage, and I'll tell people it now, which is that I don't like serial killers who use a gun.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay? Serial killers use a knife, strangulation, beating. I get it. It takes passion, commitment. I understand it. I don't condone it. I understand it. Every time I hear about a serial killer who uses a gun, I'm like, did you even come, bro?
I love this joke.
Seriously. Did you even bust? Did you even... A gun? That's incel shit, okay? Go shoot up a high school or something. Serial killers bust nuts, not caps. Boom.
Okay, but that's so funny.
That
is such a good tag. I don't think I've ever heard that tag.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Thank you, Sam.
Yes. No,
I love that. I know when a
That's
white
right.
male comic who's into dark shit claps, I'm like, I really hit it.
That's right. We're going to get some complaints.
Listen, but that is why women cannot be serial because there's a libidinal component to it.
Because there have been sexually motivated lust killers. Gene Weber.
Okay, so you're having to dig into the archives of some randos.
But the reason why we have to dig is she strangled multiple boys.
Is this a cis?
Yes, this is a
woman?
cis woman. Yes. There haven't been a lot of trans
no, I'm not saying that
serial
there
killers.
are, but
I mean, if there's if we're gonna make any trans people
No. Listen,
Trans women
I
can't
mean,
be
look, we
serial
just had
killers.
our first trans shooter, a trans mask.
But he's still a man.
That's my point.
He's still a white man.
That's my point.
That's one of y'all.
This is my point. It's like this is kind of a win for the trans community in many ways. Because what more evidence do you need that a trans man is just a man? School shooting.
Okay,
I mean, did it?
This is the last episode now.
No, why? Why? Sam, do you think that's beyond the pale? I mean, look, by the time this episode airs, it's going to be out of the news cycle.
That's so fucking sad. That's
I know.
the saddest
And
shit
it's
I've ever heard.
100% true.
And
it's 100% true.
Okay, wait. Let me prove you wrong. So first of all, also you should know this. Carla Homolka.
I know Carla Homolka. She's out there living it up.
She sure is. Living it up.
I don't
Raising
know.
her kids. She's a sexually motivated killer.
I got to stop you right there, Sheria. I know all about Carla Homolka and Paul Bernardo. Okay,
we're gonna
your
say
boy
Paul.
Paul was a section. She was. I mean, well, listen. First of all, was she bussin'?
Yes, she was.
I mean, look, we can't get into the gnarliness of her crime. She killed her own sister.
She's a horrible
fucking
woman.
horrible nightmare.
Horrible.
Person.
She's on tape, like enjoying it.
Right
you know
now,
what I mean?
she's on a beach somewhere.
Yes.
You
All right,
know?
so let's exclude teams. We're talking about early murders. Gene Weber, right?
Who is Gene Weber?
This is an early 19th century serial
This
killer.
is some revisionist history.
This is not revisionist history.
Okay,
You're
I'll bet you
just
she was at
wrong.
least a flapper. She was at least a flapper.
Early 19th
Okay,
century.
like
No.
she was there and the.
It was earlier than that. She used to find young boys and strangle them.
But who doesn't
the
want
Jane Toppin, the nurse that like
Jane
poisoned-
Toppin? Yet another.
Jane Toppin is a great
Toppin.
porn
Jane
star
Toppin
name
is a total
for a stud lesbian.
exactly.
porn star.
It is such. It's right there.
It's so
Oh,
good.
Belgunnis, Jane Toppin.
Jane Toppin.
I mean, come on.
There's also, this is a new one that I actually have not heard of, is Gwendolyn Graham and Catherine Wood. They ran a nursing home. They used to play these
The nurse
sexual
killers.
games, and they used to kill their patients while they were like choke their patients to death while they were sexually assaulting them.
Okay, you know what? Let's tone it down now. For a minute. It's
See,
my fault.
Because
I take credit.
you're wrong.
No, it's
because you're wrong. And if anything,
I don't contend that I'm wrong. I have to forensically examine each of these cases.
okay.
But you know what? You're right. I could very well be wrong.
It's your own gender binary, your own gender biases.
You know what I'm like?
That, you know what, will ultimately get you killed by a sexually motivated female serial killer. And that's
Stop
called
it.
feminism.
That's called victim blaming. Okay?
Well,
that's what that's called right now.
if you
Are you saying that I'm asking for
You
it?
kind of are.
Okay,
Look
bitch.
what you're wearing.
First of all, can I just say that I love right now we are having an argument about representation in serial killing? I'm like, there are no women serial. You're like, there have been plenty of women serial killers who have been erased throughout history.
And literally, yes. And you know why?
Are you going to do like a Howard Zinn style history of female
Fucking
serial
right.
killers?
We're reclaiming
A woman's history of serial murder?
A woman's history of serial killing. Because it's time. It's time.
What's next? Like genocidal man? You know, everyone gives credit to Hitler, but it was really Eva Braun who was really making all the decisions. History wants to erase, but Eva Braun was serving genocidal cunts.
Before genocidal cunt. Who can actually claim that? Who could? Eva Braun.
Eva Braun.
Eva Braun, genocidal cunt. Wait, no, but this is a thing because I think, and I know that's fucked up, but I think we often treat like Ted Bundy and Dahmer and all as like heroes and geniuses and special white men who do, and it's almost like they're innovators, like they're pioneers or whatever.
Truly. But they've been doing what men have been doing all along. It's just killing
It
hoes.
wasn't just white men. I used to be the same. I used to be like, white men are dangerous, and they are, right? They are. But you know who else is dangerous? We are. We have power in this world, and sometimes we use that power for evil. And it's good to be reminded of that. And that's why I like Sisters Who Kill, which is a good podcast that literally all they do is
Guys,
black
do not go.
women
Just stay
murders.
with semi-woke, okay? Don't go cross-promoting other podcasts.
You know what? Honestly, they do not need the promotion.
I know.
They're
They sound amazing.
fucking
I'm going to
fine.
check them out.
They're great because they like I feel like representation matters, and I feel like I need people. People are really rude to me. They try to touch my hair. They talk to me mad disrespectfully. What if I'm a murderer? What if I'm a serial killer? Huh? You don't fucking know just because I'm not a white man, huh?
Okay, are you gonna write a movie about the first black female serial killer who's just responding to people touching her hair or wanting to touch her hair?
No, that was already made. It's called Swarm. I didn't actually see Swarm.
Okay.
I didn't see Swarm.
I don't even know what it is, but
It's Donald Glover's new.
that's right. Yeah, it's very new, right?
Yeah,
I got to check it out.
We should
I got
watch
to check
it.
it out.
No, and that, and then also like, you know, I think we need to know that at the end, because we need to see the humanity in one another. And sometimes humanity is dark and twisted. And so maybe, I don't know, I'm just making an excuse now because I love true crime.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this. Why are you so obsessed with true crime?
I don't really know. I've thought about it a lot. I think what it is I have anxiety. I have generalized anxiety disorder. And I have like a lot of different things, right, that are related to trauma. And I think a lot of people move through the world as if everything is okay. And I have never moved through the world like that. And I think I often feel crazy because of it. And sometimes knowing about the like constant worse baseline darkness makes me feel less crazy about my anxiety.
Right.
You know what I mean? It makes me feel like, listen, I'm right to be I'm not crazy. I'm right.
So it affirms your worldview pretty much as an anxious person.
It affirms my worldview and it affirms my mental health state.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is that a good thing? The answer is no. No, I don't know why you're deliberating. That was a rhetorical question. The answer is no, Sheria. It's not a good thing at all.
Okay, wait.
It is not a good thing at all. But I think what you're describing is probably very common among. Now, I am also actually a fan of true crime, and I actually always have been. And I feel like this is my most strong feminine aspect as a dude. Because I used to, before true crime was like a big thing, I used to go on something called crimelibrary.com.
Oh my God, yes.
Do you remember this?
Yes.
I mean, this is going way back.
Yes.
It's like 15 years ago or something,
Yes.
10 years ago. I used to go on crimelibrary.com and I would just get lost, you know, in this website and just learning about all kinds of grisly crimes and horrible things. And I was obsessed with serial killers. And then I realized if I looked at my astrological placements, it's because I have the astrological profile of a serial killer.
What?
Yeah.
This is so gay.
If you look, there's an amazing. It's not gay. It's straight.
It's so gay.
Okay.
Like, actually, I'm most compatible with Aileen Wuornos. It's kind of funny.
Listen, if you look at like the astrological breakdown of serial killers, they're all either Virgos or Sagittariuses, with a sprinkling, I think, of Libras too, and Pisces are in there as well.
Pisces are in
They're a
there.
bunch of fucking crybabies.
Yes.
And I'm a Virgo Sun, Sagittarius rising, Libra Moon. And of course, there's other placement. But I remember seeing a chart that somebody was circulating of like the astrological signs of some of the most prominent serial killers. And I was like, oh,
Wow.
hello. I just saw an empty slot that said Pranav Bihari.
Yeah.
But
also, Beyonce is also, I think, has your similar astrological, right? Am I wrong?
I could see Beyonce being a serial murderer, dude.
And she would be so good at it.
Slay.
And she would literally slay. She would do
slay.
it so well. She would be so prolific. She would be the most prolific female serial killer, period.
I mean, I'm not
And they
convinced.
still wouldn't give her due. They still wouldn't give her a
It'd
documentary
be like
series.
Jay really killing it. Jay really killing it though.
Yes, because he like did some vehicular manslaughter. or
That
something.
whole relationship is bizarre. If we can just take a quick interlude of just.
And just piss off the Illuminati real quick.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, you know what? Never mind. I'm bizarre and how amazing they are. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. We already went after Hillary Clinton, okay? We can't go after this. Now we're kicking it up
You
a
know what?
notch.
I'm more scared of Beyonce than
Yeah,
Hillary.
100%.
Because Hillary couldn't even make herself president. So, like, Beyonce could do that. For sure, Beyonce
Beyonce
could
basically
make
is president.
Yes.
You
yes.
know?
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Can I defend myself about this, though? Because true crime has saved my spirit a lot of the times.
Your spirit?
Yes. Like, sometimes there's so much. You can find hope in true crime. You can find, like, one of the reasons why I traveled to Asia and I like
Live,
went
laugh,
and
love.
started doing I did my white girl live laugh love. I did the yoga and the meditation. The reason why I decided to do that is because I was having a mental breakdown and I was watching Dateline with you know Keith Keith Morrison. I love him. I love that man.
And it turned out Sam murdered them both.
Yes! And he's so poetic with his misty rain over
and then he fingered her behind the dumpster.
No, he does not. He would say that way more poetically. Anyway.
I'll have him a chicken sandwich with some fries.
Have you seen what's his face's parody of Keith Morrison?
No, I was very excited about mine just now, and you're upstaging it.
Yeah, there's a better one out there. So he does this one, and it was about this guy, and he murdered this young girl, and he threw her in a dumpster, and he was just like walking around free.
Very similar to what I just said.
Yes,
now.
Yeah, kind of. He murdered a girl. They put her in a dumpster. He set her on fire. It's really sad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, wait. And so then he's free. He's free. He's doing fucking interviews on fucking TV and shit or whatever. This guy, Travis something. And so he then follows.
Scott.
It is Travis Scott. No, it was a white man. So he follows this woman. There's this woman, Lydia Tillman. He follows this woman to her house on, I think it was like the 4th of July. He follows this woman to her house. She's home for a little bit to take care of her family or something. She goes to her house. She goes to her apartment. He follows her into it. All right, let's get ready. He beats her so bad that he breaks the bones.
Okay, trigger warning to everyone.
Yes, to everyone. He sexually assaults her. Then he lights her on fire.
Okay,
Lights
when are we
her
getting to the part where this
apartment.
redeems you?
Yes,
in your
wait.
worldview?
So then he lights the whole apartment on fire and he leaves, assuming that she's gonna be she's dead. She miraculously gains consciousness, jumps out of the window, lands on the floor, and the firefighters are to put out the fire. And she gets up and she grabs and she's like, please help, and then passes back out again. They had to put her through so much physical therapy, blah, 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 but she survived. And she had fought him so bad that the DNA under her fingernails was what finally caught him and brought that poor little girl's family justice. And so then during his sentencing, she had to relearn how to walk, to talk, to write, to do everything. But for his sentencing, she still had her jaw wired shut. But her father read out her statement, her witness statement, her victim statement. And she's like, you must have been in so much pain to inflict this much pain on the world. I have to forgive you. Because
Lydia Tillman says
this. And then Keith Morrison is
dumbass
like,
bitch.
what? No! And then Keith Morrison is like, why? How? Before you're even fully healed. And she finally can talk now. And she's like, well, when I think about it, Travis.
She finally can talk now? That's fucked up.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Yes, I know. She was, her jaw was still not working. She could talk, she can walk, she could do everything. She was like, Travis chose hate and fear. And so I choose love and peace. And that is why I win.
The victim.
No, she wins. And then the reason why she said it was so hard to get to that place, but the way she did it was through meditation, was through yoga, and like, pushing
okay, well, now that you're bringing up
body.
Indian shit, it's a little bit more redemptive. Just kidding.
And that's why she was able to forgive this man who literally did so many horrible things to her. And I was like, I gotta go do me some fucking yoga. I gotta do me some meditation because
Travis is now doing that shit?
No, I said that.
Oh, you? Okay.
I said that.
That's
No,
you.
that
Sorry.
nigga's in jail.
Okay.
He's in jail. He's in prison.
So that's what got you into it?
That's what got me into yoga. That's why I
Wow.
traveled to Thailand and everything, because I watched that Dateline.
You were such a middle-aged woman. That's like some
100%.
shit my mom would do.
100% I'm a middle-aged woman. I'm a middle-aged woman and I'm a little girl.
Yeah, you're a woman. You're just a woman, actually. You're not even middle-aged. Yeah, but that's like such a thing my mom would see, like, and then she chose love, and she'd see it on Oprah, and she's like, that's why I'm going to do yoga. Like, that's the kind, that's such like a suburban mom-ass story. and that does not justify all the bad karma we're ingesting from watching all this true crime, dark bullshit. Because I'm a dark motherfucker, and that's basically why I watch true crime. It's because I have a dark side, and it feeds my dark side, okay? That's why I play violent video games.
I don't like that.
What?
I don't like to see violence in front of me. I could hear about it. I could hear stories about it, but I don't like to see.
You couldn't even watch me play Resident Evil 4
that
last
shit.
week.
It's so horrible. It's like blood, and you can hear.
Yeah, I know. I felt
The
so bad
viscera.
because you were just sitting there, and I wasn't even actively playing, and there was just like sounds.
Ugh, I don't like that shit. I don't like that, and I don't like violence in like movies. I like
think
serial
look,
killer shit.
every form of media, in my opinion, like visual media, narrative media, is pornography. This is my contention. It all gets down to some deep libidinal shit.
Okay, Camille Paglia.
I don't know. Is she? I know she's a real one. Is that something she said?
She's not a real one. She says, well, she's not a real one.
I don't know enough about
She
her,
says
so don't fucking
she's the one
cancel
that's
me
like
for-
all heterosexual sex is rape, which is real.
That is true. That is true.
It's just true.
Of course it's true.
It's funny. Why is it true?
Well, I mean, if she already said it, why even go on?
I don't necessarily
Listen, the entire
disagree.
act of how each partner gets off is through an act of friction and resistance. Just the physiological act of it. And now some people are like, why can't you describe it as like a dance or something? It's like it's
But you know there's friction in queer sex as well.
fine. Okay, fine.
So
I'm just
all
talking about
sex
getting
is rape.
off. Yeah.
All sex is rape.
Listen, I don't want to get cornered into this right now. Okay? Enough with you and your gotcha journalism. All right?
Define woke.
Define woke. N-word, G-word, R-word. She started
full
twitching.
Kramer.
Exactly. I like that full Kramer is like a thing.
It should be. It's one of my favorite stand-up comedy moments. Yeah. Okay. Well, fuck you, bitch. I thought you were gonna be like, girl. Okay.
I'm not gonna look at true crime. Look, it's not okay, but at the same time, it's okay because it is kind of natural,
Yes.
right? Like we can't deny things that are negative and dark and
And we have to look
horrid
out for that
and-
shit.
Of
I'm
course.
in
Apparently
comedy.
there's a book
Do
and
you know
I
how many
haven't-
fucking sociopaths do
dude,
comedy?
I mean, it's like mostly. There's a couple straight up like clinical narcissists I can definitely think of.
And the only reason I think I've stayed away from some of them, I've still gotten in the way of some of them, but but like I think I notice things that I'm like, I watched 12 hours of interviews with murderers.
Well, have you heard of
and
this
he's
book?
saying the same. Which book?
The Gift of Fear.
Yeah.
Okay, I have never read it, but
Okay.
you're already over it.
Yeah, it's good but problematic. But he is right. There is this instinctual blah blah blah. But I think there was like some problematic blah 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 in that.
There
as
always
well.
is.
There
these
always
days.
is.
There always is.
There
What's
always
next, Sheria? The Bible?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Absolutely.
Speaking of violent pornography and true crime.
You just said a word, bitch.
What?
Speaking of violent pornography and true crime, the Bible is
Bible.
fucking nuts.
Except
And-
it's not true. Oh.
we're coming for Jesus.
It probably is half true.
It's probably like some truth.
Some truth.
Yeah.
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 All the parts where they're smacking hoes is definitely true.
So, do you think it's wrong? I don't agree with your titillation theory. I also think women want to be on guard about murderers and killings and things like that.
Yeah, but okay, then why just keep watching, you know? The non-stop watching. Why is it gotta be? If you might like this, you'll also like Molested by Someone I Trust or whatever. Have you ever watched I Survived?
Yes, I fucking love I Survived.
I feel like I brought that show to a bunch of people.
Thank you.
I was a pioneer of I
Thank
Survived.
you. I love I Survived.
I used to watch it when it was on regular TV.
Yes.
You
Okay.
know? People are
bitch.
getting their arms cut off. And,
Yes.
and after a while, they dispensed with all the like, oh, we got caught in a bad storm on the high seas. And then it was just all sexual assault and murder. Sexual assault and murder.
It would
getting
be
your
like
limbs
a
chopped off.
dude that was like, I decided to do something fucking insane,
Yeah,
and then there were
exactly.
consequences.
The biggest threat to a woman, a man. The biggest threat to a man, himself.
his own stupidity, and like it's just
I
like
decided to float on a child's tent on the high seas.
literally, and then some shit happened, and then there's a woman who's like, I was
And then,
walking.
wouldn't you believe, sharks came after me.
Like, and it's just like a woman who's like, I went to the store. Like, I woke up a woman,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
was it. Like,
I woke up a woman.
and then that was the end of
That's
that.
horrid. Sam, where are we on time?
34.
Oh shit!
that's
Okay,
pretty
we
good.
didn't do it so bad. I thought we were sitting here mumbling and rumbling and going on.
No. We're doing good.
Should we get into our new segment?
We're getting into our new segment. I mean, do you have any last words on true crime?
Yes. Sorry. So first, let me just say, you might be right. I am ingesting
Okay.
a lot of darkness. You might be right. It is true. I I do consume too much true crime. On the other hand, I think the rest of you need to be consuming more true crime. And I think it just...
Well, some people are feeling too safe out in the world there.
I think some of y'all are
Well,
out
listen,
here.
I feel like I've done my duty as a male ally by ingesting so much true crime.
Mm-hmm. How?
I don't know. Let's just go.
Yeah,
with
no,
it,
I don't know
though.
about that one. I don't know about that one. But I do think more men should consume these more granular stories of true crime, because a lot of the times, like we just had what's his face? We had Jonathan Majors. We just had the Jonathan Majors thing happen, and I'm sorry, I learned a lot about domestic violence and the cycle of abuse and all these things from true crime stories, right?
Yeah.
That are usually, a lot of them are just domestic violence situations that went to their worst conclusion, right? And a lot of men still don't understand those things because it's hard to understand.
Okay, well, you know what? Here's an interesting observation I'll make about my own relationship to it, right? Is I think one of the reasons I did get into true crime is I grew up in an era. Well, I was very close with my mom. I was attached to my mom. I was obsessed with my mom. I loved my mom growing up. I was such a mama's boy, and I would go with her everywhere. And my mom was a really beautiful woman, and we were in an era of serial killers, the Night Stalker, this, that, the other thing, you know, all that shit, right? And so I used to hear stuff on the radio, and I'm like, I don't understand this. Why are men doing this? Why are people doing this? But then I remember I would go out in public with my mom in certain places, and I would see, like, sometimes I would see men, like, kind of leering at her, you know? And my mom would get very scared, too. My mom was a scaredy cat. And my mom had told me about a story once where she was home with me alone, and some guy who was trying to, like, sell vacuums or something came by. And when she was like, no, not now, he tried to, like, force his way in the door, and she managed to close it on him. And I think those things imprinted themselves on me. And so I felt compelled to explore all that, right? Because there's a really dark... And it is titillating as well, right? Because listen, it is listen, you can't separate it, right? There is a titillating thing to it, and you have to explore. I was scared of this then, and thus you dive into the fear, and you have to try and understand it better, right? And then it becomes weirdly titillating. It's an exhilarating thing to watch, and that's why people watch true crime. I think you're sanitizing it by being like, people are learning lessons from it. That could be part of it.
That's most of it.
But I think the bigger part of it is that it is satisfying something very deep and dark in human beings. And it's the same reason I play violent video. I don't consume true crime like that at this point, right? There was a time when I did. Yeah. But like I play violent video games. It's because I'm violent at my core. Okay. Like most men are. Anybody who says video games don't cause violence, that's bullshit. Okay. Hey, yeah, that's like being like, yeah, I watch porn, but I don't like pussy. No, I don't know. God, that's where I draw the line. Is
so you agree with Tipper Gore? Is what ultimately you're saying?
Don't even.
Is that at the end of the day, you and Tipper Gore are basically the same person?
No, I'm not, because I think people do need to consume these things because that is the way you actually find a healthy outlet, right? That's also the way. That's the way through.
Do you think I'm identifying with the murderers or identifying with the murdered, and that is the?
Maybe I don't know. I'm not here to psychoanalyze you, right? But I will say that maybe it's both.
Maybe
it's both.
Maybe it's both.
Right? And maybe there's being so immersed in the narrative. Yeah. I don't know.
Nope. I think you might not. I think you might be a little bit more right than I want to admit. I think you might be a
not
little
all
right.
a safety manual.
Yes.
You know? And
I also, because I do,
the lessons are learned.
I listen to a lot of like female hip hop, and I get like, that's how I get my my violence like out. You know what I mean? And I can. Oh no,
I'm just kidding. Sorry. I don't even know her. No, not her. But like, and I think that's like my like aggression and my like, you know, like bombastic confidence, blah blah blah. That's how I get that out, right? Is through that. So, and I can admit that freely. Whereas I do think there must be, because I definitely have a violent streak. There's definitely violence within me. I know that.
Okay, bitch. Have I violent with you? Oh.
Listen, you wear a Bane mask around New York City, okay?
That's my Enfo mask, and it's garbage. It's like broken. And I bought
Every
200
time I see that, I'm like, she's
filters.
serving cons. Okay, she's accessorizing right now. I'm like, yeah, safety, anxiety, etc. But she knows it looks kind of cool too.
It also helps with not smudging my makeup as much.
Okay, there you go.
See?
The real reason why.
But don't
you
get
wear-
one. Don't get an Embo mask. They suck. There needs to be a better way. No, yeah, I've never got violent with you, bitch. Like, but have you ever seen me get violent? Have you seen me get violent?
No. But I feel like if I could imagine Sheria, 15-year-old teenager in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like maybe you were running the streets.
Teenager in Brooklyn? I was a teenager in Natick, Massachusetts.
Oh.
At a boarding school being called the N-word like every day. And the only way it stopped is I had to yoke this little nigga up by his fucking head.
He was like,
push
you
him against
got
the wall.
I'm an N-word.
And I was like, if you ever call me a fucking nigga again. And then I got in trouble. But he never did
so
it again.
typical.
It's a Massachusetts boarding school. They were like, that's free speech. You have no right to, yeah. They were the worst. Oh, we should get into it. We should get into that sometime. That's a topic.
The dynamic I despise most in this world is when bullies bully and then they get bullied back and play the victim.
Yep.
And that's the story of my life in many ways.
I think that's, as a person of color, I think that's a story of a lot of
like
people's
a lot
lives.
of times I've gotten in trouble. I'm like, these motherfuckers
Did it first.
didn't want to leave little brown N-word alone.
Yep.
You know?
That's right.
Like they didn't want to just leave me alone.
And since y'all don't want to step in, a lot of times, like especially for like children of color, especially black children, the adults will not step in.
Yeah.
So you have to handle it yourself. And now you're the scary
That's exactly
scholarship
right.
girl from Bed-Stuy.
I had no protection growing up.
Yep.
People, you know what I mean? So I used to, yeah, and that's actually how I ended up becoming funny was because I would just fucking read them or like fucking just tear them to ribbons with my savage wit.
Yes. Yes. You know what? Deep down, you're a drag queen. And I like that.
Oh, God.
And I like that about you.
Mom, that's not true. If you are listening to this and you haven't been deterred already by the fact that
Hi,
there's-
Kumkumanti. She's
Wow,
like,
she
who the fuck
knows.
is this bitch?
how does she know I'm
Who is she
Kumkumanti?
talking to right now? Don't let her come up in my house with her shoes
New
on.
clip. It's just gonna be called Hi Kumkumanti.
Okay.
Let's get into our new segment right
Yes,
now.
yes.
And guys, by the way, sound off in the comments and hit us up in the DMs and email us if anything you thought was problematic and you think that requires correction or you just want to talk or you're interested.
Sure. Yes. Don't be coming up in my shit being mad disrespectful though. Because
Or-
I will read you.
Only do it in the comment section. Don't get in the fucking DMs.
Okay, fine,
Okay,
yeah.
you can do it in the comment section. Don't get in the DMs with your bullshit. Okay?
Been to argue with me.
Yeah, don't
Okay.
fucking, get out of pocket. Also, by the way, we are launching a Patreon soon, and Patreon people will be invited to our Discord channel where we'll be able to continue the conversation there. Stay tuned for more on that. Anyway, let's get into our new segment.
Okay.
Can I announce it?
Yes.
It's called Problematic Faves.
Yeah.
Sheria, do you want to describe it? Your idea, and I think it's amazing.
Thank you, Opa.
You're amazing.
We Opa.
I love you.
We pick.
I do.
You're my problematic
I
fave.
know. I agree. Thank you.
We choose
I hope so.
you refined it. We choose like a topic, a joke, a person, a movie, a lyric, a blah 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 blah.
Any cultural thing.
Any
really.
cultural thing that we love but requires some deconstruction from a woke perspective. That's right. We're gonna still say woke.
It's problematic, and yet we love it.
Yes.
You know? Mine is, and this is everybody's favorite. I mean, he's an amazing comedian. He's one of my favorite comedians. He's most straight males' favorite comedian.
Yes. Rest in peace.
Big time rest in peace, Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
And this is a bit called I'm Racist, and we're going to play it for people here now. We can stop it at any time. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
And Sam, we're going to be able to see this on screen, right? Cool. And begin.
How many people getting sick of the Hindu obstacle course at the airport? It's. I mean, I'm a racist, but it's getting. And I don't mind foreigners, but don't be from your country. Like, it's okay to be originally from there, like your parents and grandparents, but you can't be from India and ibble-dabble for my ibble-dabble ID. You go, what the fuck? I know I'm American. I gotta be more American than you, because I don't go ibble-dabble, ibble-dabble ID, boarding pass. Man, I know my voice proves I'm American. Like, I need an American voice to ask me for my shit. But you can't get rid of the double day dudes, because they're they're amazing. Like, who else will work at a 24-hour Brooklyn gas station with no bulletproof vest and no gun? And curse niggas out if they don't have less than a 50. I been dibble dabble. Dibble dabble diddle dabble. You need something smaller, please? 50 double. Double. Double day. You can't get rid of them because they do jobs nobody else is gonna do. That's why you can't listen. What is this thing where we trying to get Mexicans out this country? Who else is going to work without Mexicans? And who else is going to work? Who else would drive a bicycle on the highway? Who else would ride a Who else would ride a wait a minute? Who else would ride a bicycle on the highway against traffic to deliver you a panini sandwich for lunch?
No.
Who else is gonna kick in your hotel door to make your bed besides some little Mexican woman who has an ethic? She has to make your bed. I have to make hello. And she knocks and she fucking punches the door. And she scares the shit out. She kicks the fucking door and the chain is on. Hello. And you're like, miss, the chain is on. I'm alive. The chain's on the door. You don't have, ma'am, please. Please, I must make your bed. I must.
Okay, I mean, I think that's generally... Okay, this is one of my favorite bits, the just period. The late, great Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, my God.
Ibble dabble. Ibble dabble. Whenever I make fun of an Indian accent myself as an Indian on stage, I say ibble dabble. I do. It's something that I've taken from him. Like, if I go on stage at New York Comedy Club and they don't understand my name, I'm like, what did you guys hear? Ibble dabble. Ibble dabble. We're going to double. I will always say it. This is an amazing, incredible bit.
It is a good bit. It is a good bit, but it is also, whew,
What?
really problematic and possibly harmful.
How do you think it's harmful?
Okay. I'm gonna get so much shit for this, but I mean, it is potentially harmful. Like the bit itself may not be the cause of harm, but people will use jokes like this to justify harm, right? Like even his bit about like who else are you gonna get to do this shitty job? We've heard that used as a pro-immigrant stance in earnest from Kelly. What's her name?
No, listen, you're right. He's in a sense he's like a poet of neoliberalism. You know what I mean? Because he's describing an issue all in one, where he's like, God, I really hate having to see these Indian motherfuckers at TSA. And you know what? Listen, there is something very counterintuitive and bizarre where it's like, oh, who's going to be the front line of defense at the country is the ibble-dabble people, right? It's like, that's our first line of defense against a terrorist? Really? Like, I mean, really. But then he's bringing up a point. Here's why I like it, and here's why it is my problematic fave.
Okay.
Is that it turns the lens back on us.
Okay.
And the jobs that we are willing or not willing to do as Americans. And that we have basically embraced neoliberalism, right? Embraced an open borders policy only insofar as it's going to serve our needs. Ironic that he goes from closing borders, using Indians to close borders, to open border Mexicans driving down the highway on a bike to deliver a panini.
Yes. Okay, that
is incredible. It is so goddamn funny.
I mean, it is.
Because
it's a well-crafted joke, and it was genuinely funny.
And it is genuinely funny. I think I can't say enough good things about this bit. And I think it's very critical of us as a neoliberal society. He's working with what we are, not working with what we're supposed to have.
Yes.
And I think that's always going to be the place where the truest and deepest critique is going to come from. It's never going to be coming from outside and pointing fingers.
Yes.
It's going to be coming from the perspective of, hey, I'm a consumer here.
Yeah.
And now look at me and look at my shittiness. I need the person who's going to insist on making my bed. I need the person who's going to risk their life on the highway to make me the panini, to bring me a panini, you know?
But I worry that like it doesn't really critique that. It's more like, hey, we got to have an underclass to consume the way, and it's not questioning, should we be consuming that way? Should we be valuing people based on these kinds of, and I know.
My contention is that you're right. He's not explicitly criticizing it, but for me, the critique is embedded in the statement itself. But this is that's my that's really my subjectivity there.
I feel you, and I think maybe there's a chance that that's true, but I think there's a greater chance that the people who are Patrice O'Neal fans are probably not everyone's going to be smart about it. But for me, the what's funny about an immigrant, a Mexican or whoever, riding a bike on a highway, risking their lives to deliver a panini is who the fuck is getting that panini? It's some bloated ass American like us, you know what I mean? Yes.
Who's got their dick or their clit in one hand and like a video game controller or a true crime remote in the other, waiting for a panini, stoned, something like that.
Yes.
And that to me is why, but you're right. There's a logical leap that I am taking there. Or there's an imaginative leap that I'm taking there. Having said that, that is my problematic fave.
It's a great one. This was a fantastic one. And so I know we're going to get shit and like, why are you dissecting a joke? You're not supposed to do that.
It's fun to dissect jokes.
Fuck you. Yeah, it's fun
I'm an edgelordy comedian, so fuck you, motherfuckers. And nobody's going to be darker than me. I know that.
I'm pretty edgelordy myself in my own way.
In your own way,
my own way. Like, I'm the comedian that seeks to make the people uncomfortable.
You talk about aborted fetuses going to hell to hang out with Ronald Reagan.
I make the all the comedians who were like, I make those people uncomfortable. Although it's like, oh, you can't say anything on stage now. I say things on stage that make them want to censor me.
That's true. It's true.
So,
it's true. No, you do prove. That's what I like about you as a comedian, though, is that you are, quote, woke, but you also have a really dark sense of humor. You know what I mean? And you're not afraid to make people wince.
Yes.
And to me, that's good.
Yes.
I like that,
I love you, Oppa.
Yeah, I love you too. You ready to sign out here?
Yeah,
I could
think so.
just keep going and going and going, but we have a guest coming up. This has been the Semi-Woke Podcast, guys. We love you. Thank you so much for coming. Don't forget to subscribe to us on every channel. We're on YouTube and everywhere you get podcasts. That includes Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a bunch of others. Go to the link tree in our Instagram bios. Follow me on Instagram at Pranahaha. Follow Sheria at Sheria Mattis Comedy. Follow Sam at Sam Lichtenstein the movie.
Yes.
And follow Semi-Woke Pod, semi_woke_pod.
Yes, follow us on TikTok, follow us on everything. And also leave reviews. Leave us reviews, good reviews. Rate us 5 stars. We're not trying to hear your blah, blah, blah. Just give us good reviews. And if it's good and it's funny, we might read it on
That's true.
the
pod.
We
will read good and funny DMs and comment sections.
And comments.
Pop off in the comment sections.
Yes.
Anyway, love you, Sheria.
I love you, Bob.
Yeah, I love
okay.
you. And I love all of you guys, too. Stay semi-woke.
Stay